This is Leggacy Radio.
So in the studio today, I'm joined with Mark and Dave from Dirty Sterling. Lads, it's been a busy few months for yourselves, away recording this album. It's nice to have you back. It's been a few months. How are you doing?
All right, mate, yeah. All right.
Good, mate. Good,
How about
good.
you?
Yeah, I'm alright, Tom, alright. Yeah. You've got these, you brought it in for me today. It's the demo, and it's out next week.
Yeah, the 15th.
Gotta be excited.
Monday, yeah. I don't know, it's one of them. We're just intrigued to see how we get on, really.
Is it a case of just putting it out there, seeing what response you get from it?
Yeah.
It's been a few years in the making now, this one.
2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years in the making. Where did it all start?
In a pub, naturally.
Like usual.
Yeah, we just got together, used to go to Riveters, practice, and then it was only a few weeks or whatever, we got a couple of gigs going and then went from there.
And now you're at the stage where we're 4 or 5 days away from the debut album release, the first single, Do I Want to Dance? Should we go in with that one? We'll let people
all right, mate.
Yeah.
I know the best, but I'm lost in romance. So take my hand and show me the way to the dance floor.
That's Do I Want to Dance, that's the debut single. It's out on Monday. Little campaign running for that to try and get it to the, is it Unsigned Christmas #1 that you're going for?
Well, that's more Jake, our manager, that's something he's gone for, you know.
Can't knock a try, can you? But the track, Do I Want to Dance, it's still true, northern, gritty, Sterling fashion. You sound, it's come on, definitely.
Yeah.
It's matured. The tracks, of course, still about all the usual subjects. This one in particular, you're telling me while it was on there, it's about that bit of approach play. If you can't dance, what happens?
Well, it's up to you, innit? You can either bottle it and not end up pulling the bird, or you can just say, right then, I'm off for it. And even if I look like an idiot, you know what I mean?
Every guy goes through that.
Yeah.
Through that.
Am I going to look like an idiot?
That time, at least once in a life.
Yeah, man.
So the album on a whole, are the topics similar to those in Do I Want to Dance?
No, you can't put. No, every song's it's about something different. That's the beauty of it. Is, you know, Do I Want to Dance is about going out and getting some lass, whatever, you know, pulling a lass, and then there's Jumping in Puddles. It's about a young'un growing up. I wrote it about my young'un, and then there's the System, what Swifty wrote. That's all about, you know, just the state of things at the minute and the way you know, there's a different way of looking at things, and then, you know, every song's different. Whiskey Chase, well, you got to listen to that one. It's too much swearing in that to explain what it's about, really.
You write a lot about
different stuff.
Yeah, you've got quite a few that are about times and things that have happened.
Yeah.
And but then you've got other stuff you can
do. Other stuff like just Why Don't You Talk? That was something that the lads was basically warming up in the practice room, and it just something just happened, and it was like, right, what's that? We had a marker pen there. They carried on playing, and I just wrote some lyrics on the wall.
Yeah, and it was just from
about
there.
A drummer getting kicked out of a band, and the band making it, and the drummer leaving the band, however you want to look at it, and the band getting somewhere, and then, you know, you start watching them on the telly, thinking, well, I've dropped one here, haven't I?
Yeah. I was personally worried at the time, being the drummer, that might have been about me.
Yeah.
So the thing I get over and over again about Sterling, whenever you're mentioned in comments, it comes up in conversation, it is the relatable lyrics. That's the first thing that people go to. Do you think that is the key?
Definitely.
That's our key, isn't it?
Absolutely. If I listen to a song and it's about nothing, then I'll turn it off. It doesn't matter how good the tune is. Not interested. If you can't speak to me, in like make me get where you're coming from, then I'm not interested at all.
That's why we've got a good following, isn't it? Because
definitely.
Because people, they
sing our songs.
So many times
they see ourselves on the stage. They see. I think they see a bit of themselves in us. You know, which I think is good. I think it was Ricky Allen said that. They see themselves in me about his fans. That's a brilliant thing about it.
And the next one we're going to play, Why Don't You Talk? What's that one about?
Well, that's the one.
I was going to not talk. Not talk then. Why don't you talk?
There was a smirk that came up on your face then. I thought he's not going to do that, is he?
That's the one about the drummer.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one about the drummer.
Right, let's drop in with that one then. This one's Why Don't You Talk?
Yeah.
There once was a drummer in a rock and roll band. He never really got to play his hand. The band played on as he walked away. And they never did talk after that.
Dirty Sterling, giving me some dark riffs now. Interesting. Moves. You're saying there that like you feel the music's come on a lot.
Definitely.
How?
Definitely.
How? Why?
Well, no, I don't think it's the music's come on a lot. I think we've come on a lot as a band, but not like we've improved as musicians, obviously, but we've become more of a set unit. Like when we're together, we're just more relaxed. It's almost like if I start playing something, Johnny or Swifty know where I'm going to go with it. You know, we've got to that point now where we know each other, so we just relax and like that. That was basically, we got into the practice room, the lads picked the instruments up, I was still drinking my beer or something I think, and they started playing, and just to warm up, no one had anything in mind. I think the bass line started and a little bit of guitar or whatever, and it just went from there, and I wrote the lyrics on the wall with a marker pen.
Are a lot of your songs built using that method?
Not before, because before I was working off stuff that maybe I wrote before the band had got together, or Swifty had wrote before the band had got together, so we had songs to work on, whereas like Sailing to the Grave, that just got sort of made up as we went along, didn't it?
There's a lot more coming out now that
now
coming out of nowhere.
Our second album is going to be so much different to the first one, which again I think is going to be I'm always thinking about that because we've been playing them songs that long.
Yeah. Well, going out, what our problem, which has been our problem for 2 years, probably always will be, is practice time, and we've improved a lot. But
because we all work full time and stuff like that.
We have a lot of time to practice and build and stuff like that. And
we all practice individually, I think, but as a band, I mean, we probably get every time we get together anyway in a room, we write a song pretty much. Yeah. And it's not like, oh, that'll do, that was all right. We look at each other sometimes like, oh my god. Right,
if we had loads of time, we could make some.
Yeah, you were saying while that one was playing as well, you feel that some of the old ones are a bit shoddy. Obviously, they're now blown out the water. You've taken the old stuff down. From
all the old recordings.
And just coming out with a complete new kind of. You'll pop the album out there, and that'll be your benchmark.
There's a lot of the old songs, all the old songs on there that people love, but that's because if we didn't put them on there.
You know. But we've done them properly this time. Before, the only reason we went into a studio before was for us to listen to ourselves, you know, to hear it back and be able to say, well, that's not very good, or that's all right. And then we just got excited. You know, it was our first bit of recording together. We got excited. We were like, bang it on SoundCloud. You know, and now we've done it properly, so we've took them off, and it's a case of if people want to listen to us, they're going to hear what we want them to hear, rather than the old rubbish that we just did, so we could hear it. I'm rambling out.
Definitely, sorry. But it's things to work from. Yeah. We'll go in with another one. The System up next.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
People acting strange. I got money on my mind. Light another cigarette, but I light it outside. They don't trust you.
That one there, The System, we're having a laugh there. We're halfway through it. I go, the vocal sounds different on this one.
Yeah.
So Ian Swift, is he a guitar player?
He is, mate. Yeah.
And so he's stepped up there for a bit of lead vocals.
Yeah, man.
Mark, you need to watch yourself, man.
Oh no, I'm watching my back. Like, sounds good, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Sounds all right.
Sings on too, doesn't he?
He does, mate.
Which is the other one that he sings on?
Come back.
Yeah,
he wrote both of them, like. So I was fighting him for the singing spot on the System, but he wasn't having none of it. So
he's got it, but I've got to say, it sounds all right. Album launch, Cafe Independent.
Yes, mate. Yeah, 23rd of January.
Support from the Monday Club, Liberty Ship, Jay Cressy.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
And tickets, where can we get them? How much?
They're on that. Is it Ticket Line? Is that what it's called?
Ticket Line.
Yeah. Celebrate and Cafe Indie. £7, I think they are.
Yeah.
Is it?
Check our Facebook page. That's the best way.
Yeah.
All the details on there for that one.
We're not the best at all that sort of information.
No, we need Johnny for that. Yeah. He rolls it off the tongue, doesn't he?
So it's been like this one. Surely will be the biggest one yet. The album launch. Got to be going for it this night.
Hopefully, mate. Yeah. We'll go for it every night.
Big one. The support bands. Like, nice to see you brought some there from a couple of out of town bands in.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that's shout to Jake. That credit to Jake. That and Brad Dringle as well from Massive Peacock Promotions. Them two are working together. And they got these other bands in, so yeah, and obviously Jay's a mate of ours, he's a good lad. Let's get him up and
have a good night.
Definitely. Yeah.
Hopefully pack that one out. So as we've got time for one more if we don't talk too much.
Okay.
So
let's shut Gammo up then.
Jumping in puddles.
Yeah.
This one. You say it's about your lad.
Yeah. Well, I wrote about my little lad, but I mean. It is for like any bloke and their son, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Or just remembering your own childhood.
Yeah.
When you was a kid.
Yeah, and I noticed there's a line in there when I heard this. Heard it on BBC Introducing a couple of weeks ago, and about kicking a can down the street. That's like the way it used to be. Stuff like that.
That was quite lit. That's how I got the beginning. For me, a lot of the songs it's the first few lines that start off. Obviously, what the song's going to be all about, start to finish. And I was taking him and my daughter home, like, and he was just kicking a can. I was literally just walking up the street, just kicking a can.
Yeah.
And that was it. I watched my son kicking an empty can down the street.
Yeah.
And that was it. Got home, got on the guitar, and bosh.
Do you think that's something that's quite Scunthorpe? Is there something to me?
There's something Britain, man.
Yeah. There's something about that, and that obviously ties in with the whole thing. The dirty Sterling. It's all that kind of northern like vibe that I get from the band.
I think it should be part of anybody. Well, I mean, that's everyone, isn't it? I think, but I get what you're getting at as well.
The
it's quite a normal
people of this
world.
Yeah, like to me,
down south there's no rubbish on the streets to kick about, is there?
Yeah, exactly that.
Loads up here.
And it's this element of like working class indie rock music. Is that something that you pride yourselves on? Is that something that you look to attack?
Definitely.
All the way.
Definitely, mate.
All the way.
Yeah. And I mean,
you come from a town like this, it's just
you've got no choice, have you?
It's how it is.
Yeah. Do you think that will remain throughout the album?
I was just thinking that whilst it's a strange question, isn't it? Because if you got what you originally set out to get, what would you think about it?
Yeah, exactly. So you look at like bands like, let's just take the band, look straight to the wall. I've seen the Arctic Monkeys, the first album, whatever people say that's what I'm not compared to AM. Of course, you can't write about those things forever, those things, because they're not on the streets anymore. Like, do you feel that the music, where will it go?
In a way, I mean, I suppose it depends how you write, because for me, the way I write, I always look back at, or try to look back at what things was like when you was younger, and try and keep it that way, rather than trying to say, you're not really able to sing about being a complete bum, because we're working lads.
Yeah.
So mainly for me when I'm writing, it's more about how can you inspire someone to do something what they want to do, so they don't have to be in this position when they're older.
Them songs that I've just heard there, they have got ties in terms of that. And that's something that you'll be obviously able to hear on the album as a whole. It's out next week. Call it what you like. Where can they pick it up? Where can they download it?
It'll be on iTunes.
All the usual sources then.
Yeah, to be fair, honestly, mate, you're asking the wrong person.
23rd of January, the album will be out. And Douala Dances out.
Yeah, and the 27th of December this month, this month, we're playing it in Mexborough at Falcon. We've got a bus on, but I think it's full already. But if we get enough interest, once we've got the money in for this bus, it's only a £5 a ticket there and back, and it's a free gig, you know. So once we've got the money for this bus,
look at putting on
just keep an eye on our page, and
all details, facebook.com/Sterling.
Yeah.
Gents, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having us, mate, again. Cheers,
Take care.
Spot on.
This is Leggacy Radio.